welcome to Turning It Up, a mom and daughter team who love people and thrill in finding and sharing ideas, tips, and tools for the everyday person to truly find themselves and live the extraordinary lives they are meant to live. I am Kiara Bowden with my mom, Heather Christensen. I don't know what side she'll be on after we record, and we are so excited that you are here with us. Please let us know who you are in the comments, and if you haven't yet, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. So last time we did a deep dive into the power that flows through the universe. Oh, wow. Through the universe. And if you come to understand vibrations and how they work, you can actually get them to work for you in all the pursuits of thriving, progressing, and finding love. So today we are going to explore how vibrations actually have their place in healing.
Yeah, and this is really important because as peachy as this or sounded in the last episode, I don't know, we talked about cicadas in the last episode, didn't we?
Yes.
But generally, the honest to goodness truth is that though there is the good, and I hope that you have good in your life, I really do, there's also a lot of pain, physical, mental, emotional that we go through, and sometimes even on a daily basis. And this pain can be in the form of natural causes, things that we suffer as the result of others exercising their agency, or as a result from you making your own choices and suffering the result of those choices.
Yeah, as we established in the last episode, this earth is a great place to learn. You aren't perfect. We are far from perfect, and none of us are expected to be perfect. We make mistakes as we seek to progress, find love, and survive or thrive on this earth. But in the wake of some of those mistakes by us or others, or other natural causes of turmoil, we are often left to wonder why we hurt so much and how in the world are we going to heal ourselves from that. Once again, God steps into the picture and he provided us with a myriad of ways that you can explore to heal. Even from the earliest age of the earth, humanity has found ways to heal. Of course, we have modern medicine, which is largely founded upon science and what our society is oftentimes most familiar with. And let's not forget the non-conventional healing modalities, which are called complementary, alternative, integrative. Those are all approaches that focus on holistic healing. Um, I think it's important to keep in mind that there's not a one size fits all. Healing comes in many, many different forms, and we encourage you to explore all of the different ways of healing until you find various forms that really resonate with you.
Did you say resonate?
I
What?
did.
Resonate? I think that vibration, I mean, it's just such an innate sense in us that we use words such as resonate because it is, we feel it, you know. Of course, if we continue, we are going to continue this vibration journey until it is drilled so deeply in you that you understand the importance of it and can apply it day in and day out of your life. In speaking of healing, though, um, that uses a holistic approach, I would like to highlight Qigong. It's such a great example of healing technique that actually uses unseen energy and vibration. I love the history, and it says a lot about the validity of the practice.
I think we should probably explain to people who don't know what Qigong is. It's becoming widely more popular, but for those who don't know what it is, it's actually an ancient Chinese way of healing. A lot like acupuncture is also an ancient Chinese way of healing. This is different than acupuncture, though. So Qigong actually means life energy cultivation, and it's a holistic system of coordinated body posture and movements, breathing, meditation that all encourage well-being or healing for the mind, body, and soul. I'm sure that a lot of people are familiar with like Tai Chi or have like seen people do Tai Chi. It's really similar to that kind of way.
Yeah, some of their movements look similar, um, but it's Tai Chi is also under the umbrella of Qigong.
Yeah.
And there's actually archaeological evidence that Qigong, when we're going to the history of it, that fascinating story that I wanted to share, is that Qigong existed about 5,000 years ago, archaeological evidence. And it's been said to have been born in ancient farm fields of China. The farmers who were naturally attuned to the rhythms of nature, they observed how life was nurtured in plants and animals, and they imitated those principles.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So we really like this Qigong healing master named Qian Yi Lin. he talks about how it was the poor people of China who developed the Qigong techniques for healing because they actually couldn't afford doctors.
I love that. That's just an example of how we are inspired through light and energy of the universe as to how we can heal ourselves or solve problems, things that we need. Anyway, through the generations, families taught these principles in the privacies of their own homes because in later ages, this type of healing was frowned upon. Go figure. It was frowned upon previously. And in fact, Qigong masters were actually imprisoned because the government wanted to be seen as a modern government with science as their main form of healing, medical science or evidence-based medicine. And some say that this is the reason that there are so many different forms of Qigong because Qigong, is that how Carson says
Qigong.
it? Because it was taught privately and it was passed down through the generations of their families. And eventually, through time, it was said that Qigong was seen to be a credible way to heal again. Back in 1985, the Chinese government approved the formation of the Qigong Science Association, and hundreds of controlled scientific studies of Qigong were carried out, all of them showing benefits. By 1992, it was estimated that 70 to 80 million Chinese people practiced Qigong. And by 1997, there were more than 1,000 published abstracts available in English that were translated from Chinese. And you can imagine how many more there were in Chinese, but they were some aspect of Qigong research. And this practice caught fire around the world because there are more than 700,000 people outside of China who are practicing Qigong.
So cool. Yeah, I was like weirded out when I first learned about it. I was like, what? But once I started doing it, I was like, this is so cool. And it just really makes sense, honestly. What is interesting about this Qigong is that it deals a lot with unseen energy and outside of the modern Western medicine realm. But what's also interesting is the modern medical realm is beginning to embrace it. There is credibility to this practice. Honestly, there is. John Hopkins, which is really close to me, actually, has been doing research with it on their patients and has found that has benefited them immensely. I feel like Qigong is like the next yoga. Right?
Well, yeah, actually, Tai Chi and yoga are forms under the Qigong umbrella. It all started with Qigong.
Yeah.
And you have healing in there, you have strength in there, and you have the spiritual aspirations in underneath that. So there are the three things that Qigong actually focuses on. But we're talking about the healing part today. And one thing that I did notice between all of these forms of Qigong is that they use visualization and sound, breath, motion, and most importantly, intention of thought, or that spiritual energy within us. If you are more of a master, you use the vibration of voice or music. And if you have ever wondered why the Buddhist,
A
sorry,
Buddhist.
the Buddhist, if you have ever wondered why Buddhist monks chanted, that's part of a spiritual enlightenment. But scientific experiments have also shown that certain tones of vibration actually have an impact on healing diseases. These four elements of Qigong together, they can be quite powerful in practice, and all of them deal with forms of vibration.
Yes.
And we're putting anything that we talk about as far as facts and things like that, we're putting links in our description so that you can read more about things, okay?
Yeah. So if this idea is new to you, you aren't alone. Like I just said, I hadn't heard about it until recently. But once we started incorporating it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But people really have been using vibration for thousands and thousands of years. And now science is proving that it actually is a thing in so many different facets. So if you remember, we said that science just explains what God has created. And then science actually seeks to explain the mysteries we do not understand. And just because we don't understand it does not mean we need to shun it away or discount it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like things like this, it's like having a child with disabilities or a member with disabilities in your family. When you go out into society, people have a tendency to be scared of
like
it because
ignore it because they just don't know how to act or
yeah, don't understand it and don't know how to act, maybe scared of it, all of those kinds of things. But the best thing to do is to go, hey, what is that? Be curious. And so there's also another tool of ancient Chinese medicine called applied kinesiology that many professional holistic healers are using. So this practice is based on the idea that the body and the energy system, or the spirit within the body, already knows what it needs to heal. And by using contracting muscles and resistance, the body tells the practitioner the answers to the questions that the practitioner asks that body or the person that is working on, if that makes sense. Well, okay, for example, if you are to hold a bag of sugar in one hand and hold out the opposite arm parallel to the floor, and you resist it and someone was to push on you, you ask, you don't ask, just a minute, this is the sugar. You hold the sugar and someone wants to push on your resisting arm, your arm would actually grow weak. Vice versa, if you were to hold a piece of whole fruit or something that was good for it in this hand and put out, it doesn't matter which hand you hold it in, you just do the same thing and you hold it, your arm will be strong and will be able to resist it. And that's basically the body's way of saying, yes, that is good for me. So professionals and people around the world do this kind of thing on a regular basis, this kind of testing, the muscle testing on a regular basis, testing for medications, herbs, food allergies, and so on.
yeah, so people muscle test in a variety of ways. Some do it the leaning test. Like if you're going with the food example, if you hold the bag of sugar in your chest on your chest, you'll lean forward if it's good, lean back if it's not. Some use finger testing, which is a little bit more complicated. And if you want to learn about it, then there are plenty of resources available online. But it's easy to ask, like, how is that done? Like, how does that really make sense and how does that work? Well, it's because everything has vibration and everything is communicating with our energy through vibration. The sugar has a vibration, the whole food, whatever else you were holding has a vibration. You can ask your body any question doing this and it will tell you the truth. It already knows what is truth, what is good, and what is bad because
Yeah.
of the vibrations.
Yeah, I had a young gal this last week tell me that she knew of people that were actually holding technology in one hand and in their other hand would, or their arm would grow weak when they were holding technology in the hand.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Not
it does.
not only because of EMFs, but like all the other research behind it. Um, so yeah, when you practice it enough, you may also get good enough at it that you'll just be able to like have the intuition that you feel inside of you, and you will know the yes or no answer based upon the vibration of the feeling inside of you. Just like JJ, my sister, with like a person that she felt was good or bad, or had good or bad intentions, I should say.
Yeah. In our balancing energy practice based on Chinese medicine, we actually use this kinesiology or muscle testing. We use it to identify the body's emotional baggage or trapped emotions so that we can release them. Every emotion also has a certain vibration. And the most negative emotions, such as hate, fear, shame, they all vibrate at really low and heavy vibrations. And the most positive emotions, such as gratitude, love, have the highest vibrations. So it's really not voodoo. It's just understanding the laws of vibration and honing the skill to identify those based upon the vibration. Everyone can do this kinesiology. It just takes understanding, time, practice, and patience.
Yep. And that's how we learned it too, was understanding time, practice, and patience. So if you didn't hear us the first time, vibration is important. It really is the power behind what we can see. Our thoughts and intentions vibrate, they have power within them. Our emotions vibrate and influence our own actions and the vibrations of others you are around. So wouldn't it make sense that the healing or so wouldn't it make sense then that healing can be more complete if we understood how to make better use of the law of vibration? Sounds kind of crazy, but it also just makes so much sense. In the least, it could complement the form of healing you're already using, whether it is modern medicine or ancient medicine. God has given us so much more than what we are using. your body's energy or spirit can tell you what kind of things it needs to heal, how much medicine, herbs, food, exercise, therapy, meditation, stretching, qigong, tai chi, yoga, massage, only to name a few. It can lead you to not only can it lead you to like the thing that you might need, but it can also lead you to the right people and the right help that you might need.
If it sounds familiar to you, it is because we've talked about it in so many different ways. We have previously talked about connecting to the heart, which is basically connecting to the spirit to get answers. So, muscle testing uses the vibration of feel and touch, and then connecting to the heart uses the vibration of the sensation of intuition. Pretty interesting, but they're both being led by the same thing within us, which is our spiritual energy. Either way, that's what it is. Our energy system is connected to our creator, giving us the answer. And if there are some that are faith based, faith, let's take that idea for a second. It's the ultimate exercise of vibration with the vibration of intention, thoughts, speaking your desires to God, getting that feeling within you that you are going the right way, and then acting. If you are vibrating high vibrations or good vibrations, you are allowing the power of God to act in your life. If you are vibrating low vibrations or bad vibrations, you are allowing the power of evil or darkness in your life.
Wow, such good stuff again. Hopefully it's causing you to think a lot more about things and consider them in different ways than you're used to. There is honestly so much that we do not know, but we would also be missing out on the richness and power of our creator within us if we decided to brush these things aside. So let's keep learning together, and we will see you next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.